Hello students, today you are going to learn about the Fourier transform. Transform word itself meaning is one thing is converted into the another form. Here is the transformation is used for a signals that is a specifically periodic and aperiodic signals. Now there are two kinds of the transform. One it is a Fourier series which is convert a periodic signals into a frequency domain. Second is Fourier transform is used to convert the periodic as well as a periodic signal that is a non-periodic signals into a frequency domain. Both the Fourier series and the Fourier transform are the mathematical tools for representing signal in a frequency domain. Here is the conversion of time domain into a frequency domain. Another description for this transformation is to say that Fourier transform is continuous representation, whereas the Fourier series is a discrete representation. Let us begin with the Fourier transform. Fourier transform is denoted by the f of lambda is equal to a integration minus infinity to plus infinity f of t into e raised to minus I lambda t dt. Here is the signal is either represent in terms of x or either it is represent in terms of t. It is both are the useful here to convert into a frequency domain. And another form of Fourier transform is inverse Fourier transform, which is denoted by f of x is equal to the 1 upon 2 pi integration minus infinity to plus infinity f of lambda into e raised to plus I lambda x d lambda. So student, understand the notation before come to the examples. Notation are f of x, it is a given function or it may be expressed into a f of t. Both the meaning of the functions are equal and it is converted into a f of lambda, then we have to apply Fourier transform. And if the given information is f of lambda, that is in terms of lambda, function is defined in terms of lambda, then it is converted into a f of x with the help of inverse Fourier transform. Then you can easily understand which formula we have to use to convert the one domain into another domain. Now take one example to understand this concept. So take first example of Fourier transform. Example is find Fourier transform of f of x is equal to the x into e raised to minus mod x. So student, your function is denoted by f of x. So while solving this Fourier transform, we have to convert into a f of t. So just x is replaced by the t. So we obtain a function t into e raised to minus mod t. Now student, understand the meaning of mod. Mod of function or any variable is can be defined in a two form. First it is f of, here is mod of t is equal to the plus t answer if t is itself value is positive, that is t greater than 0, and mod t is become minus t where t is less than 0. So understand here two values of t which is depend on the values of t. If t is greater than 0, then mod t value is become plus t, and if t value is less than 0, that is negative, that time mod t is defined a minus t value. So depending on this t value, the function is give two values. One it is t into e raised to minus t. Minus sign is already in this function and mod is value plus t. So the value of e raised to minus mod t is become e raised to minus t. And if t is less than 0, then the function value is become t into e raised to plus t, because mod t for t is less than 0, the values become minus t. When you put into this function, this minus minus is become plus. So we obtain it is t into e raised to plus t. Now, to convert into a frequency domain, we have to apply here definition of Fourier transform. Fourier transform definition is f of lambda is equal to the integration minus infinity to infinity f of t e raised to minus I lambda t dt. So here is the integral limits are varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. So it is divided into two parts. One part is varies from minus infinity to 0. Second part is varies from 0 to the infinity. Now, if interval is 0 to the minus infinity, it will be considered the t value is less than 0. When interval is 0 to the infinity, the t value is to be treated as t greater than 0. So that this integral is can be written in this form. So first form is limits are varies from minus infinity to 0, and second integral with the limits are 0 to the infinity. And just put here value of f of t in this formula, and e raised to minus I lambda t itself as it is. Now student, if interval is minus infinity to 0, that time function is showing value t e raised to t. So here is we put the value t e raised to t. And if interval is 0 to infinity, that means t is greater than 0. That time value of f of t is become t e raised to minus t. So you have to just put into this f of t. Now combine together this e raised to function. So we will obtain it is e raised to 1 minus I lambda t. In a second interval, if again we combine both the e raised to function, we will obtain e raised to minus into bracket 1 plus I times lambda into t, and other terms as it is, t as it is, and thus dt as it is. Now, to evaluate this integral, we have to apply a generalized by parts rule. So by parts rule is to state that to evaluate this first integral, we have to write a u term as it is. So u term is to be treated here, it is t, and another term is to be treated as v. In a by parts formula, always we use notation u and v. So u is a first function, that is t here. So first t as it is, and just inside bracket take integration of v term. V term is here e raised to term. So e raised to integration is e raised to into bracket e raised to into bracket 1 minus I lambda bracket complete into t, and denominator is different. In a denominator differentiate the e raised to power with respect to the t. So it is 1 minus I lambda, and into next term with negative sign, and derivative of t it is 1, and again take integration of e raised to, which is defined in the first term. So take again integration of this bracket, and we obtain here it is e raised to power is 1 minus I lambda t, and derivative of this raised to power it just write in denominator, so it appear bracket square in denominator, and limits are here minus infinity to 0, and we are not proceed again in a next term because derivative of 1 is in the next term become 0. Now evaluate the second integral. In this second integral, u is again to be treated as t, and v is term is to be treated as e raised to function. So the value of this integral is can be written first t as it is, and in 2 take integration of e raised to. So here is e raised to power is minus into bracket 1 plus I lambda into t, and raised to power derivative just write into the denominator. And next term is with negative sign, and derivative of t is in a next term, it become 1. And again into integration of this first bracket, so that e raised to integration is e raised to, and raised to power is right in a denominator, so it become a bracket square. And next term, in a next term, derivative of 1 has become 0, so no need to proceed. So stop here and just put the limits 0 to the infinity here. Now after applying by parts rule, generalized by parts rule, just put the limits. So put here upper limit is t0. So first term is showing answer 0. So that's why here is 0. And second term is e raised to power is 0. So here it is 1. And denominator term as it is minus when we put the e raised, when we put the t value is minus t lower limit, that time this e raised to function is showing answer is 0. And in the next step again e raised to is appeared, and when we put the t value is in minus infinity, this value is again become 0. So here is the lower limit value of this function is become 0. Now similarly put into the limits in a second term. So put upper limit when we put t value is infinity, then again due to the e raised to function, this become 0. And again for this e raised to in a second term function, then again the value is here 0. So when we put t value is infinity, the answer is 0 here. Now minus put the lower limit when t is 0, that time this first term is showing answer is here 0 due to this t term. And minus put e raised to t, it is 0, so raised to power is 0, then e raised to 0 is become 1, and denominator term is as it is here. Clear here students? Now this is about the limit, and just simplified and open this bracket, we will obtain the value of f of t is 1 minus upon 1 minus I times lambda bracket square plus 1 upon 1 plus I times lambda bracket square. Now this is the first example here. Now take one more example to understand this Fourier transform concept. Now second example is find a Fourier transform of f of x is equal to the 1 minus x square when mod x is less than and equal to the 1, and f of x is 0 when mod x is greater than 1. Now student here, before come to the function, now understand the meaning of this mod x is less than 1. The mod x is less than 1, that is x value is lies between minus 1 to the 1. Mod x is less than 1, that is meaning is that x is lies between minus 1 to the plus 1. And this mod x is greater than 1, then another interval except this x values minus 1 to the 1 interval, on the other values of the x, the answer is showing it is function 0. Okay, student here. Now I'm writing here f of x is in terms of t. So it is f of t is become 1 minus t square. So 1 minus x square is become here 1 minus t square. So we have to write function in terms of t first and then use the Fourier transform formula. So formula is f of lambda is equal to the integration minus infinity to infinity f of t e raised to the minus I lambda t dt, and put the here limits. Now student, here is mod x less than equal to the 1, meaning is x lies between minus 1 to the 1, that time function is exist. And if other the values instead of this interval, other values of the x, function is showing answer is 0. So here interval minus infinity to infinity is converted into the minus 1 to the 1, because function is only exist in the interval minus 1 to the plus 1. So here f of t is value become 1 minus t square and e raised to term as it is. Again, we have to evaluate this integral with the help of generalized by parts rule. So here student, first term is to be considered as u, and second term, which is e raised to term, is to be treated as v. So apply here generalized by parts rule. So u term as it is, take integration of e raised to into a bracket, and raised to power derivative is just write in denominator. So it is minus I lambda. And second term is with negative sign, and derivative of 1 minus t square is minus twice t into integration. The integration of this first bracket, which is in a first term, is again integrate in a second term. So integration of raised to e raised to power is as it is, and raised to power derivative just write in denominator. So you can appear it is bracket square. Now next term is with plus sign, and take derivative of minus twice t is minus 2, and into it is again take integration of second term, that is e raised to term. Now it is e raised to derivative is e raised to integration, and raised to power derivative is just write in denominator. So it is minus I lambda, and its bracket raised to the 3. And limits are minus 1 to the 1. And in the next term, derivative of minus 2 is become 0. So next is term showing answer is 0. So up to it is correct here, integration. Now put upper limit, it is t is equal to the 1. So just put t is equal to the 1. The first term is showing answer is 0. So here it is I am writing 0. Now second term, just put t value is 1. Student, be careful when you simplified the second term, because in denominator it is bracket square. So I am simplified the first bracket square. So minus is become plus, and I square lambda square. And this minus minus sign is become here plus 2. It is plus 2 here. And in a third term, I'm writing it is, I'm simplified first denominator term, which is minus I lambda bracket raised to 3. So it is cube 3. So in denominator, I'm writing here it is minus sign I cube and lambda cube. And this minus 2 is as it is here. And just put the t value in a raised to power, it is 1. So we will only obtain e raised to minus I lambda. Now this is about the upper limit. Now subtract by the function at lower limit, that is t is equal to the minus 1. So again the first term is become 0 if we put t value is minus 1. Now second term is again simplified. Again be careful here, t value is minus 1. So it is affect on a raised to power, e raised to power. So it is plus I lambda. And denominator term is again simplified like a previous step. So it is first open the bracket square. So it is I square lambda square. And here it is t value is just replaced by minus 1. Now in a third term, again this denominator term is simplified first. So it is minus I cube lambda cube, and e raised to power. Look at the e raised to power, t value is just replaced by minus 1. So it become minus minus 1. Now open this bracket. So we will obtain the terms. It is 2 upon minus lambda square into e raised to minus I lambda. Second term is 2 into e raised to minus I lambda upon minus I lambda cube. Third term is 2 upon minus lambda square into e raised to I lambda. Third term with negative sign, 2 into e raised to I lambda upon minus I lambda cube. Now collect the equal terms. So it is 2 minus 2 upon minus lambda square terms are taken common. So we obtain into bracket e raised to minus I lambda plus e raised to I lambda, and then just common throughout the next term, it is 2 upon minus I lambda cube into bracket, it is e raised to minus I lambda minus e raised to I lambda. Now student, always remember I square value is become here minus 1 and I cube value is become minus I. So that student, you will obtain this equally terms immediately, and you can take common throughout the terms. And now use a one formula here. Sin x is equal to the e raised to ix minus e raised to minus ix upon 2I, and cos x is also expressed in terms of e raised to function. The formula is cos x is equal to the e raised to ix plus e raised to minus ix upon 2. So student, here just replace this bracket value by cos into 2. So we obtain here 2 cos lambda and this 2 upon minus lambda square as it is. And now this bracket value is compared with this first formula of sine. Then you will obtain, it is just rearrange the terms and take minus sign outside, and this 2 is take on the left hand side. Then you will obtain the value of this bracket is minus 2I into lambda. I again repeat here. Here is we obtain the value of e raised to ix minus e raised to minus ix, but here is it is in a reverse order. So we have to take negative sign is outside. So that's why here it is negative sign. And this 2i is take on the left hand side. So we obtain it is 2i into sine lambda. Due to the rearranging here term of this bracket, so here is negative sign is attached. And now just take simplification. So we obtain it is 4 upon minus lambda square cos x plus 4 upon lambda cube sin x. Then just take the LCM of lambda cube in denominator. Then you will obtain into a bracket minus lambda cos lambda plus 4 into sin lambda. So student, like this way, you can able to find the Fourier transform of any function. I hope all of you able to simplify the some more examples on this topic at home. Thank you, students.